welcome to Rowdies Weekly. I'm your host, Heather Donnelly. Joining me today is goalkeeper Matt Pickens. And Matt, you suffered a tough loss against Carolina on the road last weekend, 4-1. How are the Railhawks able to disrupt you guys and pull out that result?
Well, I don't know if it's so much what Carolina did. I think it's more so what we did. I don't think that we came out with the right mentality and the right effort, and we definitely didn't put that forward in the game. And it was one of those games where we never matched Carolina's intensity and their play overall, and they just were all over us, and we didn't have any answers. And I think that's the first time all year where I can say that happened. And we just got to look ourselves in the mirror and realize what we did and correct that for this weekend.
Yeah, a little bit of a tough start to the fall season, but how important is it to just keep it all in perspective and know that the fall season is long, so these things are just a blip on the radar?
Yeah, sure. Like you said, it is a blip, but we don't want one blip turned into two blips to three blips, and in sports that can happen rather quickly. So I think that it's it's one of those things this week where we know we're playing an opponent in Puerto Rico that we don't really know very well, but I think more so the focus is within the group here this week and making sure that we start the game with the right mentality. We're at home and we need points, and I think this is the biggest game all year for us. Put that pressure on us. I think when we do put that pressure on us, I think we tend to respond pretty well. So I'm hoping that for this weekend we come out with the right mentality and the right effort, and we come out with 3 points here.
Yeah, before we talk a little bit more about Puerto Rico, one last question about that Carolina game. You had to face 2 penalty kicks in that game. I feel like that's pretty rare. I mean, it's rare to almost face 1, let alone 2. How often has that happened in your career?
I think that might be my first. I think. It's hard to go back and think of if it ever happened, but I don't remember that ever happening before. And if it did, it only happened twice. It's never been 3. So, it was a strange game like that. And I think to have those penalties come back to back in such a short amount of time, I think it really stuck a dagger in us. It was 1-1 at halftime. We were still in the game and feeling well, but to come out at halftime and give away 2 penalty kicks was tough. And I don't think we could ever recover from that one.
Well, now looking ahead to Puerto Rico, they're the newest team in the league. They're looking for their very first win. They've only played 3 games so far. So with that, you mentioned a little bit, they're kind of an unknown opponent. What do you know about them and what do you expect?
Yeah, we went over a little video with them today, and you can tell they do have a few guys that can actually play, and they like to play. And what I mean by that, they like to move the ball and work their way up the field. So, but I think defensively they're a little bit of an unknown there, and as I mentioned before, I think this week more so than any other week this year, it's we're looking within here, and I think if we get it right within the group, it doesn't matter who we play this weekend. That if we get it right, we're going to win, and we're just trying to get that belief back in the group again, and making sure that the losses stop here. So.
All right, we'll see if that happens this Saturday. Thanks, Matt.
You're welcome.
Joining me now is Head Coach Stuart Campbell. Coach, I just talked to Matt Pickens a little bit about it, but let me get your thoughts on the result in Carolina.
Yeah, obviously very disappointed, not just with the result, but with the performance. Obviously, I felt we went from having possibly our best performance of the season the previous week at home to Jacksonville to arguably our worst performance of the season away from Carolina. So it was a very disappointing performance and very disappointing result. But we had a good chat after the game. We've had a good talk on Monday, and the players have showed a real good reaction this week in training. Now they've got to take what they do Monday to Friday into the game on Saturday. There's no good performing to a very high level during the week and then on a Saturday night not producing. And I'm confident that they'll produce this Saturday.
2 of the goals that the Railhawks scored in that game were on penalty kicks. How hard is it to watch your team face 2 PKs in such a short span of time?
Yeah, obviously it wasn't ideal, but I'm not. As I said, they were close calls. They were given. They could quite easily not been given, but I'm not using that as an excuse. As I said, I think the overall performance of the team it wasn't good enough, and we know that as a group. We know that we've set standards higher than that, and we have to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, you have a chance to do that this Saturday as you face Puerto Rico FC, the newest team in the league. They'll be playing their 4th ever game, so what do you expect against them?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Obviously, when I first come to the Rowdies, Puerto Rico were in the NASL. Enjoyed playing against them then, so it's great seeing them back in the league. Obviously, we've got a good coach who knows the NASL, so they're going to come here. They're going to be really excited. The way they're playing, they look like they're enjoying being back in the NASL. And when they come here and see our facilities, they're going to be really, really looking forward to the game.
They haven't won yet. They've gotten a couple draws and a loss, so they'll be fighting for their first win. How do you go up against a team like that that's just going to be especially hungry for a win?
Yeah, well, that's one thing that I wasn't happy about last Saturday. For the first time all season, I felt that Carolina outfought us, A teams outfought us and outbattled us. So we have to make sure that never happens again. And we're going to get a great test this week against Puerto Rico because they're playing with no fear. They've come into the league sort of after 10 games. So it's a real good opportunity for them, so we have to be on guard. They've been unfortunate not to win. Obviously the game last night, they could quite easily have nicked 3 points in that, and then also in the first game against India they conceded a real late equaliser, so we know that we've got to be at our very best to get 3 points at home, which we have to start doing. It's okay saying we've played really well at home, etc., but we've drawn or tied too many games, so we have to stop that and start winning at home.
Puerto Rico has one player who's been on a roll. Hector Ramos has scored 3 goals in 3 games. How do you contain a guy like that?
Yeah, he's a handful. He's a big lad, and as I said, he's hit the ground running for him. So yeah, we have to be on guard. Whoever plays centre back for us, we know we're going to have to pay close attention to him because he doesn't take many chances to put the ball in the back of the net.
All right, thanks for joining me on Rowdies Weekly, Stuart.
Thank you.
The Rowdies host Puerto Rico FC this weekend with kickoff set for 7:30 here at Al Lang Stadium on Saturday night. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com or by calling 727-222-2000. The game will air nationally live on CBS Sports Network. Thanks again to Matt Pickens and Stuart Campbell for stopping by Rowdies Weekly, and thank you for watching.